This week started off very dark. Not only did we see the death of a musical icon, but we had to sit by and watch as scenes from an extremely scary, hateful, and violent act played over and over on our televisions. As our prayers stay focused on those in Las Vegas, we offer the little light we can and continue to choose positivity and loving each other well. We will keep this world from dragging us down. Gonna stand our ground, and we won't back down. Let's go. Yes, y'all. You know what it is. It's them kids and wives and 925s, but we are still married to the games. Episode 264, and it is a morning show.
Morning show. Come on, guys. You didn't come in with me. What the heck? I've had 2 cups of coffee. I'm good.
Morning crew.
It's your boy Gabe Patillo with Tim Router, Ed Placencia, and Chris McCracken, of course. And as always, we are talking games and life and games. Thank you guys so much for being here with us this week. Oh, man. So, Router.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Are you all moved?
It's all done.
All done?
No,
Really?
Are you kidding me? No.
I thought you were serious.
Job's done.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
I would love to say job's done, but it's not happening at all. No, we are chock full of boxes. I'm a homeowner again. We closed on Friday. That's
nice.
That's Piper's topic of the week is moving into the new house. She's been super sweet and really excited about everything.
She's been running around in there. Yay!
Oh,
Yes.
yeah. Has she been sleeping upstairs in her room? Of course not. But that's
no.
We'll get there just because we haven't even set up her room yet. I mean, we've got her bed up there, and like we don't even have her drapes up or anything. So that's a lot of stuff. It just stinks, man. We like most of the weekend was moving everything in, and then like it was Sunday, and we're like, all right, well, we got a day to do some stuff, and you know, she still had her soccer game on Saturday, and we're still trying to keep things going, but trying to do stuff during the week while you're trying to work is just like, oh.
Right.
So it's just during the week it's slow, but this weekend we're going to try and crank out a lot of stuff. But there's still some things that need to be done to the house. For example, they have to redo the backsplash in the kitchen because the tile is defective in its basket weaving. So
what?
It looks really weird. So we got just plain old white subway tile for backsplash, right? Like nice and simple. Should be nice and simple. When the guys installed it, they installed it properly. Everything was fine, but the edges are beveled, and we didn't order those. And apparently, it's a defect in the subway tile. So in the backsplash, you see like some tiles are jutting out more, and some are. It looks like a really bad tile job actually. And during our first one,
I've always been telling people that's character on my backsplash.
Right.
That's not supposed to be like that, huh?
No. I guess
Your tile is
not.
just bored and got a new hobby, and now it's basket weaving.
It's basket weaving now, so it's got like this weird It's not, and it's not like a consistent basket weaving effect. It's just this odd thing. And when you have, I think Lauren wanted just a smooth back subway tile, and so because these tiles are beveled edges, it doesn't necessarily provide that. They need to be straight edge. So they're coming in tomorrow. It's going to be a 2-day job, and they have to bring up, take all the tile off. So I'm hoping they don't ruin anything else, but it's fine. I mean, we still have some things that they're going to take care of, but it's like, I'm a homeowner again. Oh yeah, I have to worry about this, that, and the other thing. Like
exactly. That's what
I kind of want to see this basket weave tile. I have this weird vision in my head. It's like I want to see it.
It's not really called basket weaving. It just looks like a basket just because it's very consistent. It's just
I understand you just called it that, but I want to see it now. It's like I'm having trouble envisioning. You guys send me a picture before they change it.
I'll send you a picture.
Maybe I'll take it all and put it in my new house.
Oh, there you go. Yeah. We'll just cut out all the drywall around it and ship it to you.
Oh, my gosh.
So yeah, man. I mean, we on Friday, we closed on the house. During that time, I had the movers packing up our storage units, and it took them longer to pack this stuff up. I was thinking, that it wouldn't take long and we'd be over at the new house by noon and unloading everything. And they didn't get over to the new house until about 4 because they had to go to the storage unit and then go to my in-laws to pick up all of our stuff there. And so like 3:30, 4 o'clock is when they actually started, and it was getting late. So we got like a quarter of the truck done, and then we had to do. The guys had to leave, and then we had to do the rest on Saturday. But it's all good. I mean, it worked out fine. But we got everything in. I think I got the last load from my in-laws in the van yesterday, and so everything is in, and now we just got to unbox, figure out where we're putting everything, and go from there. And it's just like, hey, congratulations, you're a homeowner again. And then the pest control guy comes and puts the Centricon system in, and then accidentally hits a line in our irrigation system. So now the irrigation guys have to come back. And
no way.
It's just it's like, I want to go back to just living with my in-laws. Can I do that? Because
I know
that would be amazing. Right. But
who would have thought that's what you were wanting the first time, right when you moved into your brand new house?
But it's actually been fun to be able to fix some stuff up and to be a homeowner again. And this community has actually been really great. We've seen a lot of people come by and say hi, which is really nice. We walked Piper to school for the first time the other day, and she just loved it. We brought Thaxton with us, and it was just a nice little family moment for us just to walk her to school. And she's just over the moon with this. It's just she loves everything about it. We're going to walk with her today. And it's just been beautiful weather, thank God. So it's awesome. Like we're in, and now it's just the stress of getting everything where it needs to go, and we're still purging. There's some things that we moved out of the truck, and we're like, oh, we don't need this anymore. So Lauren's on buy sell trade, like just taking pictures of stuff and selling stuff. Like I walk in the other day, and there's plates outside on the front porch. I'm like, what are these plates doing? And it's like, oh, I sold those. Somebody's going to come and pick them up. I'm like, great, cool, keep going. So it's just crazy, but it feels good. It feels good. Have I been able to set up the old console and play any games? Absolutely not.
All right, of course.
That's just. But we've got a great little setup.
It's only because you got your priorities jacked up.
I know, right? I know. No, trust me. All of my video game stuff came with me and was in the front seat of the van, and I almost
with the seatbelt on.
Exactly. I almost buckled them up. That's how.
Nice.
That was one of the last things that I took, and it was in the van, and it was in the front seat, and I'm just like, it's okay, baby, we're almost there. I'm kidding. It wasn't that bad.
You're like making our way downtown, walking back, homebound.
I know, right? Like that. I feel like the Odd Couple music should be kicking in while I'm driving back to the house. But yeah, we are. I think we're going to invest in a 4K TV, Chris, for upstairs, because that's where our gaming's going to be, and they're coming down in price. So I'm going to go over to Costco and
is that the room you'll be gaming in, or
up in the bonus room is where I have all the love, and we'll put all the
the love.
It's my love, but it'll be great. Like it's really going to be a nice little family bonus room. We have this couch with a huge ottoman with it, and so like it's one of those kind of you can stretch out. So it's going to be a good game. I might end up falling asleep gaming on this couch because it's going to be so
there you
good.
go.
Right?
But yeah, it's going to be really nice, and I just want everything done. I'm one of those like, I hate all this clutter, and I've got clients bugging me because basically I went dark from like Friday through half of Monday just to get everything done. But Comcast came in on Saturday, and we have internet and TVs, and so that's good. But it's just
nice.
The combination of working and then trying to get stuff unpacked. It's like, I need like the next holiday is Columbus Day, so we might have a break on Monday where we can just Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, just knock out a bunch of stuff. But I mean, we're gonna be systematic. We'll just take it a room at a time, and we need to finish getting our room set up and Piper's room, and then we'll go from there. But it's been really great. So I'm super excited.
Good.
And feeling really
awesome.
blessed, and yeah, it's awesome. So that's pretty much me this week. It's just sorry I haven't been in contact with I think anybody at all for like since Friday. It's just been a whirlwind, and but hopefully I'll get back in the swing of things.
There you go. Chris McCracken.
Things are going crazy here. No, not really. A little bit crazy at work. As you know, we were doing a lot of recording the last couple weeks. And so this week is when we're trying to get every single bit of it edited by Friday and output by Friday, because then we go into another 2-week session where we're going to be recording for the next 2 weeks straight. And can't really do any editing while we're doing that. So it's a little bit of a crunch week in a way. I haven't had to put any extra hours in yet, but it's possible that if things don't get in a little bit better place today, I may have to stay after a few hours, in the next couple of days to make sure that we can get it all out in time. But I mean, it's not a huge deal. This only comes up every once in a while though, where we've been recording like multiple weeks in a row, and then it's like, okay, and now it's all got to go, bam, because it's just hard to do the two things at once. Stacy is back in New Jersey. I took her; she flew out on Sunday, but it's going to be a short trip. She comes back on Friday, so
cool.
she won't be there for very long. And then I think she doesn't have to go back out again until towards the end of October, maybe something like that. I think her next trip is in Austin, so she'll also be here, still local in Texas, just not local to the DFW area. Outside of that, nothing else has really changed. We are through the option period on the house. All of our things that we wanted them to take care of through the inspection. They're like, oh, we've already done this, and we have receipts to show you that. And then like get the AC service. They're like, oh, well, we actually had that done 2 months ago and I can provide you the receipts. It's like, okay, cool. And then the other things, it was just a bunch of little things, nothing huge or major. But they were like, I really don't want to do any of that. So we're just going to give you allowance so that you can do it. It's like, okay, fine. If you're going to give me money, then I'll do it that way. I just want to make sure this stuff's taken care of one way or the other. So all that seems to be in order. The appraisal's been ordered. And so I don't really know. I haven't been, this is only like the second time I've been through this process, and I can't remember last time. It was like 8 years ago, but I think it's pretty much a done deal from here on out. So
snap.
it should be in a home come early November.
Yeah,
back in my own little place.
Great,
and be
man.
setting up my room as well. I don't know exactly where it's going to be just yet, but I'll get that all figured out. Gaming wise, it's still been just nothing but Destiny 2 for the most part. We did complete the raid as a clan.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, it did take 2 sessions, and unfortunately, because it took 2 sessions, we didn't have exactly all the same people in both sessions. So not everybody that started it was also part of the completion team, and the time frames got a little bit wonky because some people were available different times on Sunday versus when the larger group was available.
So you can save your spot, like kind of like where you were at, and go back. You don't have to like do it all in one sitting.
Yeah, well, the way that it works is that there are these, we'll call them encounters. Like there's these specific things that you can almost say like, oh, that's the little boss area. And you have up to 4 of them, and then you get to the final stage. So every time that you get to one of those boss areas, that counts as a checkpoint. And it saves that onto your character, whichever character you've gotten to that point with, until the following Tuesday. So every Tuesday the game resets and the whole world resets everything. Yeah. So if you have 1 week to do all the things, like there's this really hard strike called the Nightfall Strike, or you can do the raid, and they give you a week's time to get all your stuff together and get your teams together and finish it out. But if you don't get it done by the next coming Tuesday, then the game resets and you've got to start back from the beginning.
Oh, and when you were talking about like 6-hour raids and what have you, in my head, I'm like, man, I don't know if I can always guarantee I'll have a 6-hour block where I can.
You don't have to do it all in one 6-hour setting. I will say that kind of like what we had when I said, not all the same people could get together again the second day. Well, you run into that issue if you spread it out, which there's ways to work around that. Obviously, you just schedule it out and you can be fine. But the other thing is that sometimes, especially the raid, I find for me, and not everybody necessarily feels this way, but I feel like it's very momentum heavy. So once you get the ball rolling and your team is like clicking and it's working, you almost don't want to break that momentum because it can change things. It can change the dynamic, or things just like the game starts acting weird and glitchy when it's not currently, or there's all kinds of different things. So it's you don't have to sit there and game for like 6 hours, but I find that in the raid, it's best to, when you jump in, just go as far as you can, because once you get that speed going, it's harder to get back to that point, or it takes a little bit to get back there.
Right.
And then also, I mean, once you've done the raid a few times and as your level gets higher, it becomes easier. More people complete it. And so there's things online where different strategies, and it always gets to where it's shorter and shorter at doing it. I think there's people out there right now that are beating the raid in like an hour or less.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's definitely doable. But for us, like hadn't completed it as most of the people in our clan. There's a few people in there, one or two that had completed it with, other groups of people and whatnot. But as a clan, we had never done it. And it was like this huge weight off my shoulders that it was self-imposed, quite frankly, because I really I knew our clan hadn't done it yet. And I think my understanding is that you have to beat it with the majority of the members being from your clan. I don't think every single one has to be, but everybody in our clan or in our group was from our clan. But the cool thing about the Destiny clans, the way they work now, is that whenever your team or your clan completes a task, everybody in the clan, even if they didn't complete that task, gets some type of reward. So if our clanmates beat the Nightfall, which is a really hard strike, then anybody in our clan can go to this vendor and they can pick up an engram that gives them a lot of power. It basically is a random drop of a weapon or gear or something that's like higher level, even though they didn't complete it themselves. So when we beat the raid, it unlocked that engram, so everybody can go there and get a potential weapon or piece of gear from the raid, even though they've not beaten it. And I really wanted to be on the first team that did that, unlocked that the first time for our group. And I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Just in my head, I was like, this is something I really want to do. I mean, it's like getting a platinum trophy. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. It's just something I wanted to do,
Right.
Which, speaking of that, I'm only 2 trophies away from the platinum.
Wow.
So I've just got to got to start my Titan character, finish him out, and then I've got to beat a prestige Nightfall, which is like the hard version of it. And it's already hard enough. So that was pretty much all that I did gaming wise. Like I said, it was a huge weight off my shoulder. Like me and Kale, like we high fived and we're like, oh my gosh, I gotta go get a beer or something. It's like, it's like I don't smoke, but I kind of want to.
Nice.
And so now, because that weight is lifted, if you will, I feel so much more comfortable about like, look, if anybody in our clan's wanting to raid and I'm available, I have the time, like I'll just jump in and help. Like I just want other people to go through it. I want them to finish and experience and be able to say, yay, I did a raid. Because again, I've said over and over, and I'll say again, to me, the raids are the best thing in Destiny. And I will stand by that.
And doesn't the raid provide a little story or no?
It does, but it's not.
Did raids in the past do that?
I mean, kind of. It depends. It's similar to Destiny 1 in that, yes, there is lore and there's stuff there, but if you haven't really been paying much attention, you're going to kind of be scratching your head like, wait, how does this tie into that? Whatever.
Yeah.
There's some things you still have to read some of the lore stuff, which most of it is in game now. It doesn't spell out everything. And even then, when you complete the raid, there's this one thing in particular that's really not fully explained. Like you're like, I wonder what that is. And I don't know. It seems like it's purposely open-ended. Like maybe they're going to explain it more later, tie it into something. But yeah, so it doesn't explain everything, but there's definitely more lore tied to it and everything. And it ties into the story in some way that you may or may not get depending on how closely you paid attention to the story.
Lore. Gotta love it.
Yeah. Love the lore. But that is pretty much it. I did pre-order. I saw Star Wars Battlefront their beta's coming out soon. So I pre-ordered that real quick because I hadn't done that yet. I also pre-ordered Call of Duty, so I got most of my pre-orders in. I think I'm going to get the AC Origins, but I don't know that I'm going to get it day one. I just don't know that I'll have time for that, but we may see. I may pre-order it. Who knows?
Nice.
But that's pretty much it.
There you go. Eduardo.
Yes, sir.
What'd it do?
It do well. Sarah and I wrapped up the week kind of hanging out. The county fair stopped on Sunday, so we kind of would walk downtown and take in the sights and the sounds and the smells and
the tacos.
Get us a taco. Yeah, get a taco, get a donut, and just kind of walk around. And it's really cool because we run into people from that we've known for 5 years and people that I know from high school. And I ran into a guy who I went to high school with. We were in band together. And he was there with his son, which is just really weird to see someone you went to high school with like a full grown kid.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he was saying,
especially the ones that got started early.
Yeah, exactly. So this kid is like, he he's engaged and about to be married.
Oh
and
my
what have you.
gosh. Yeah,
Wow.
exactly.
I know, right? But it was really cool because Rick, the friend from high school, said, "Oh yeah, my son's really into video games," and I was like, "Oh yeah, what are you playing right now?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm playing some PUBG and blah blah blah." So we just started talking about that, and he's like, "How do you know what my son? How do you understand?" And his son turned to him and he said, "How did this guy go to high school with you? And he's cool."
Ah,
Yeah.
nice. And your friend's like, when did
Eduardo.
you learn German? You're like, hey.
Exactly. So it was kind of fun to be the cool one and also be the one that plays video games for a
Yes,
change. So it's
sir.
kind of nice.
That's awesome.
It was funny. I want to say a big congratulations to over on our Married to the Games Facebook page. We gave away a copy of Cuphead. And so congratulations to Aaron Bonagovsky from Vancouver, BC.
Nice.
Ooh, Canada, stand up.
I know, right? So it was really cool. He said, you don't have to say my last name because I know it's a hard one. And I said, I grew up with Placencia. I understand how that is.
Nice.
So yeah, we were really stoked to give away a copy of Cuphead and was able to get him the code a minute after it dropped. So congratulations, Aaron, and thanks to everyone who played over there. We're definitely gonna be doing a little more of that over on our Facebook page. So keep an eye over there and like that, and you'll be in the know.
That's
Enjoy
right.
the frustration.
I know, right?
Cup of
Yeah,
frustration.
Exactly. Maybe a mug. But got to, and Gabe as well, we got to play test a new game coming from Amazon Game Studios called Crucible.
Boom.
Yeah.
It's still in the very, very early stages. Our good friend Freakin' Stancil.
Freaking Stancil. Man, freaking Stancil.
That's what he's working on. And so we were really happy to, it was really nice to not only be able to get to play it and get to see what he's been working on, but because when we played it, we had to sign an NDA. Now he said it's nice for him to be able to finally talk to us about it, where before he couldn't say what he was working on. Yeah. So it was just kind of nice to, it's just cool to see a game that early in the stages and see what it's all about and then get to play it over the next, however long and kind of see how it progresses. I've never seen or played a game this early in the stages.
Yeah,
So
it looks like
kind of
Pac-Man now.
Yeah, it was just kind of cool. And they wasn't feedback, but it was really hard to know especially since this is the first time we played it, and so we didn't know what had been improved. So it's kind of, I was kind of like, who am I to say, oh, this needs to change, and have them probably say, well, duh, so.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that was a lot of fun. Still playing some Lego Dimensions. And Sarah and I last night wrapped up the Lego Ninjago movie video game.
Ooh.
That was a ton of fun. So much fun. And so it really, it did what a game tie-in wants you to do. It really made us want to go out and see the movie. So it was a good time. And then yesterday ran through Batman, The Enemy Within, episode 2, The Pact.
Ugh.
And
Yes.
Telltale is having a blast with Batman.
Really?
It was
Good.
basically Telltale saying, can we have Batman? And, the DC saying, sure. And Telltale then saying, can we do whatever we want with these people? And DC said, sure. And it's just so cool to see how they take, and I'm not a huge, Batman is probably the superhero I know the most about and follow the most.
Mm-hmm.
But it's still really cool to see even my limited knowledge to know, they really juxtaposed this relationship here, and they're doing some really cool stuff. So yeah, it was a lot of fun to
I like that.
just kind of see. Yeah, kind of
That's
cool
great,
to see
man.
how they play around with what you think the relationships and how things work are. So that was pretty cool. And that was pretty much my week. Pretty low key. Just still working and plugging away and getting in some games when we can.
Good
I like
deal.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I like it too.
Mr. Patillo, sir, what you got going on?
Shoot, man, what do we not have going on?
Yeah.
Mm.
It's funny because it's not like we're all over the place. It's just that we're working hard at our house. And so
Right.
just getting this booth ready for Celebration, which is next week.
Oh yeah.
For Jenny, and so getting that all built and then tearing it apart and then getting a shipping company to deliver it and everything like that. So it's been a lot of that. Last night we got to be in this is the weird thing about being in music. So when you do music for a living, all your friends are doing Christmas songs now.
Right.
And so everybody's been doing, Toby did a Christmas song. Ryan Stevenson, who I did Eye of the Storm with, did a Christmas song. And so last night we were in Ryan's video for his Christmas song that comes out at Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so we had to dress up in Christmas clothes. There was a Christmas tree. They had a fire going. And it was so freaking hot.
Oh yeah,
That's awesome.
Why
is that man sweating?
I'm not going to be in the video. There's no way I make the video because I'm like pouring sweat.
That's incredible.
Because he got all these people in his house, and you know the fire's going, and everybody's supposed to be dancing. I'm in a long sleeve flannel shirt.
That's incredible.
I'm holding Milo, and we're supposed to be like dancing and singing. Me and Jenny are supposed to kiss under the mistletoe. Dude, there's no way I'm in the video. There's no way. Like, they'd be making a huge mistake.
You have that Christmas glow, Gabe. That's all it is.
Yeah, exactly.
I would love to be the editor of that and be like,
I know, right?
can't use any of these.
Yeah, I
shots.
can't use any of these shots. That Joker, it looks like he just came from the gym.
Okay, we can use these shots, but our effects team is gonna have to go way up to get rid of all this sweat.
Exactly.
Bring in the CG.
Golly.
Oh, that's funny.
That's
And
really
so-
funny.
Yeah, and so it was really like, not frustrating, but just like you want to do good for the video, but at the same time, you're like,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just sucked.
I want to
So
see
awesome.
the footage.
I know, man.
I
You
know,
have to.
the poor editor's like, we really want this video to be diverse, but
Yeah, exactly. I'm the only black guy in the video, and I'm pouring sweat. I'm just kidding. There was another black guy in the video. You know what's funny is I purposely put myself in the back because I was like, well, I'll give movement to the shot, and you'll see Milo, and you'll know that there's a black guy there. But I ended up, and we talk about this a lot we talk a lot about this on the bus. This is not on purpose, but I just happened to be standing next to the other black guy.
Nice.
And not so many words. They were like, "We got to break you two up." Gabe, can you come stand over here? Make this side of the room diverse, not just that back corner.
right. All the black guys back in the video.
Exactly.
Like,
Exactly. And so
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's no way I'm in the video. You'll see me for like
Remy's in more shots than Gabe is.
yeah, he definitely is. He was like in the middle of the thing, glaring at the camera.
You'll just see Remy like levitating. There's like they cut you out.
Yeah.
Right.
You see him taking pieces of wood out of the fire and doing it to the try to set the floor on fire.
Right.
Oh, that's great.
So that was fun. And then last
funny.
night, like a 20-year-old, I went to a show at the Ryman after
Oh,
the
nice.
video.
Hey,
Yeah.
So one of my buddies is in a band called Mute Math, and they were
Oh,
playing in the Ryman last night, and it was a big deal. It was their first time playing at the Ryman. They've been a band for forever though, and so I ran down and made it just in time to see the beginning of their show and watch their show last night. And it was really weird. Like, number one, because I went by myself, and I'm never by myself anymore. You know, I was telling somebody either I'm with my kids and my wife, or I'm with my other kid, Toby, and all them
Right, you
people
with
on
the
the
crew.
bus. Yeah, and so it's like either I'm with everybody or I'm asleep. You know what I'm saying? So it was really weird to be like driving downtown and going to a concert by myself. It's not that I'm never by myself. Like, I never run an errand for Jenny. Like, of course, there's times where she's like, "Can you run to wherever and pick this up and come back?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure." But to go do an event, it felt very weird to be by myself and doing that. But great show. I hadn't seen those guys in a really long time perform. So it was fun to watch that and to feel the energy of the crowd. Obviously, as a performer, it's fun and painful all at the same time to be on the side where you're watching because you want to be up there so bad.
Yeah.
And so
Like, I was just sweating a ton. I really want to do some more.
exactly. I could sweat up there in front of people and they'll clap. So
And it's not weird at all.
exactly. It's totally normal. And so that was really fun to go ingest as just somebody taking it in. Saw a bunch of buddies there, so that was great. Because Nashville's small. As much as it's growing, you're going to see somebody wherever you go.
Mm-hmm. Especially a show.
Especially a music show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's about it on life. Gaming wise, I'm with Chris, man. I'm just have you seen those memes that are always talking about or those little vines where that kid's going LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James. I feel like that's my life with Destiny 2 right now. Like Destiny 2, Destiny 2, Destiny 2, Destiny 2, Destiny 2. And so that's
awesome.
That's all it's been, man. Every if I can steal away 20 minutes, I'm like, turn the PlayStation on and try to do something to level up my character or something because I want to get raid ready. And so been trying.
You're knocking on the door. I mean, you're pretty much there.
Yeah, I'm 282 now.
Oh,
I've got all my strong stuff. It's funny. They have a thing in the game where you get these different weapons, right? And you get rare, legendary, and exotic weapons, which is funny. Number one, that it starts at rare, because no, they're not.
Yeah,
they're not rare at all. But so what happens is you can take the legendary and exotic items if they're the same kind. If you have a submachine gun and a submachine gun of like an exotic or a legendary, and you can infuse the stronger one into the weaker one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's what's weird though, because you feel like you should always keep the exotic because it's an exotic and they don't drop as much.
Right.
But I find that sometimes I like the legendary gun better than the legendary gun better than the exotic gun. And so I always want to infuse the exotic into the legendary just to get, the exotic into the legendary and get rid of the exotic. But I feel like, Chris, should I not do that? So I went through the whole thing, and sorry, this is going to be a little Destiny talk for a split second. I went through the whole thing and got that Mida mini tool thing, the scout rifle. So there's a scout rifle. You do these things and you can finally get this gun, and it's a
multi-tool.
Exotic.
The scout one is the multi-tool.
Oh, yeah.
The submachine gun is the mini tool, yeah.
So, but then I found another scout rifle that fires on full auto. And obviously, you know me.
No, don't do it.
Why?
Did you do it?
No, I didn't.
Because okay, I hear what you're saying. And I will say this. At any time, you can go back. If you've unlocked an exotic, like you found it out in the wild, you can go back and buy it back. I don't know how much it costs, but you can buy one back, and it'll be at a lower level, and then you'll have to level it up again or infuse into it to make it high. You can go to your collections. I think it's in the vault or whatever, but you can go to collections. If you unlocked one, you can purchase it back. I think with shards, I don't remember because I've not actually done it, but I know it's doable.
Okay.
It was the same way in Destiny 1. They had collections where you could go back and repurchase them.
Right.
Because some people get them because they're just like, oh, I want to collect exotics, and so they want to have them all.
Yeah.
And so you could do whatever you want, because I've found guns. There's legendary guns I have and some exotic guns where it's like, cool, that looks awesome. Never going to use it. You know what I mean? So I think that's fine. But I'm telling you, even in Destiny 1, which also had the Mida multi-tool, it's one of the best, most versatile guns in the game. It's not good for every situation, and there's going to be times where it doesn't make sense to use it. But I'm telling you, you got to just go outside your comfort zone and let go of this whole full auto thing, because you're going to open up a whole new world of doing things even better. I'm telling you.
No, I do like it. I mean, I've been using it, but I don't mind having the option of just holding down the button and it going pow, 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 pow.
I hear you, but
What's the difference?
I'm pro infuse whatever you want to infuse, but I'm just telling you, dude, don't get rid of that. Don't infuse the multi-tool into some auto scout rifle.
Why? But why though?
Just do it.
There's not a good reason of why not to. I can still shoot it one bullet at a time.
It's a better gun than the other one. Period.
Why?
It's just a better gun. because it can do more, and it can do
Like
more
what?
for you. And it's going to fit more situations better, because even being full auto, there's going to be more recoil and kick with that than there's going to be by pulling the trigger. And it's on a hair trigger, so it goes as fast as you want to, and it boosts your movement speed, and it does it even more when you combine it with the mini tool, and it reloads like lightning fast. Your other one's not going to do any of those three things.
This is going to be good.
I know. I love this.
I'm just telling. I mean, you do you, man. But if
No,
you were,
I want to be talked
like
to.
the other
That's
day,
why I didn't. That's why I didn't do it, because I was like, I need to talk to Chris about this decision before I do
like the
this.
other day, you got rid of an exotic, what was it? Rocket
Grenade
launcher into another one.
Yeah.
And you were telling me, oh, should I do this? And I was like, man, I have that rocket launcher, and even though it's better than you seem to think it is, it's still not the best ever. There's situations where it works really well, but when you don't have as many weapons, I'm fine with you infusing whatever you got to do. But if you're asking my opinion, I'm saying don't do it with the multi-tool. Keep that
All right.
bad boy. You're gonna
I
learn to
won't do
love
it.
it. I'm telling you.
I won't do it.
In PvP, thing's a beast.
Not for me.
I don't know, but let's see what Ed thinks.
And that concludes this week's episode of Nerd
That
Talk.
was
Exactly.
There's so many
That's
Destiny
perfect.
people out there right now that are like, oh yeah, oh no, I can't believe
yeah,
it. Just,
definitely.
Oh, that's what I love about it. There's people probably screaming at both of you right now.
Exactly. It's definitely one of those things where, like, I know my play style, and I'm definitely a spray or pray
Yes.
kind of guy. And so and for some reason, there's something about going click, 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 click with my finger that I do not like. Like, I don't like the noise of it. I don't like how much I shake when I'm doing it. When I'm already excitable, I'm not kidding. When I'm already extremely excitable in PvP as it is, because here's the thing: none of this matters in the actual game to me. I'm gonna be able to defeat the enemy in the game way easier, even though they're bullet sponges, than I'm going to be able to when you're up against real people.
Yes.
So the
Right,
whole talk
right.
is really for the real people side of things, because
right.
I'm not good at, I've never been good at shotguns. I've never been good at sniper rifles. I'm not good at one-shot guns. And so I just I need the forgiveness of the submachine gun and the auto rifle, that when you miss that very first shot, you're still going to hit him on shot 2, 3, and 4, because it's going,
Right.
Which
and
I
so-
understand why you did it, but that statement alone is a little bit crazy, because the rocket launcher you infused into the other one, you took a multi-shot and infused it into a single shot. But
I
I'm
know,
just
but
saying.
I'm a distance guy. And so
I get
the
it.
multi-shot that he's talking about spreads out, where I'm like a medium to long range shooter. I don't like doing up close. And so to Chris's point, the gun that he's talking about, the rocket launcher that I got rid of, is way better really close.
Yes.
But if I'm flying around like I like to do when I get some heavy ammo and want to like shoot from far away, then the gun that I infuse it into is better.
Yes.
So there's that.
There you go.
It's crazy,
Very
man. All this, there's just so much stuff. That game's nuts.
Yeah, the game is crazy. Destiny 2. Destiny 2.
Destiny 2.
All right, Router, you got this thing?
Yeah, man.
Well, let's do it.
You almost were going to say, let's get into some
Yeah,
questions.
no,
weren't you?
I thought that's where it was going.
You know, it's funny. I was thinking, I was like, we're going into Let's Do It, right? I was like, but it sounds like I'm about to go into some questions.
It does.
Like I had myself on the ropes. I was like,
That's right.
I don't know where we're going. We're about to
You
find out.
dialed it back, though. Way to go,
That's
brother. Way to
awesome.
go.
Yeah, that's when you've done something for 260 times.
Exactly. All right, so we got new releases this week. Forza Motorsport 7 for the Xbox One and PC. NHL 18 Young Stars Edition for the PS4 and Xbox One. Minecraft Xbox One Edition Limited Edition Xbox One S 1 terabyte console bundle for the Xbox One.
Huh?
We have it's just that they're releasing an Xbox One S 1 terabyte console with Minecraft as a limited edition
Lord have
starting
mercy.
this week. Yes, I agree.
Why?
Yeah, it's all themed and everything.
Yeah,
I
it's
understand, but
it's all
gracious, it's-
Minecrafty.
It's kind of
So-
expensive too, from what I understand. Did you say the price?
No, I don't have the price here. No,
Yeah, I think it's like $450 or something.
probably.
I just don't know why release. I guess just because it's sold so many. It's just an
It's
old
a,
game.
yeah, that's the thing, man. I know, but
with
it's
a brand
beast
new
still.
thing.
It's a
Mhm.
beast. Yep.
Freaking
I'm with you.
Xbox One X with Mario.
With Pac-Man.
Yeah, it bugs me so bad. They're like the Galaga edition of the Xbox One X.
Exactly. No, I'm sorry. I said Xbox One S, not X. It's
Oh,
it's
I
One
thought you were
S.
talking about the X. I'm like, golly,
No, I'm
man,
sorry.
come on.
I'm sorry. No, limited edition Xbox One S, 1 terabyte
Oh,
console.
okay.
So that's not as bad, but it's probably
It's
still
not as
expensive.
bad. It's still annoying.
Yeah, I hear that, brother. I hear that. Everyone's gonna yell at us for this. Anyway,
I know. I play that with my kids. That game is great.
I know. Shut up, man.
Like, you don't play that with your kids. You watch your kids play it.
That's right.
Yeah.
Or fall
Bad
asleep
graphics
to
are
them
cool.
playing it.
Stop trying to get extra points.
That's That's right. Okay, for the PC, PS4, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch, Battle Chasers Night War, Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen for the Xbox One and PS4, WRC 7 for the Xbox One and PS4, Stardew Valley for the Nintendo Switch, Axiom Verge for the Nintendo Switch, Mario and Luigi Superstar Sega and plus Bowser's Minions for the 3DS. I read that correctly. Mario and Luigi
It was the
Superstar
strength on the
Saga
B is
plus
what cracked me up.
Bowser's Minions.
Bowser's Minions.
Bowser. This is Bowser's Minions.
Hi.
Bowser's in the menu.
Exactly. The jello
Would you
pudding.
eat Bowser?
Bowser's chocolate pudding.
We'll put the
So, yeah.
Bowsers in the Bowsers, burn them in the Bowsers.
Oh man, we are loopy this morning. It's awesome. All right, and finally for the Nintendo Switch, Oxenfree.
Oh, yeah.
Ollie Ollie?
Ollie Ollie Oxenfree. Yep.
Ollie, that's right. Ollie.
They should totally bundle those games together. They should get together. And we're bundling Ollie Ollie and Oxenfree. They should totally do that.
I love that. That's a great idea.
That's funny.
Morning,
It's too
Joe.
early. It's too early in the month for NPD, so we won't have that probably for another 2 weeks, I want to say. We did have a few oops. Chris R. over on Twitter. Sorry, Router, but normal Canadians don't like mayo on their fries. Gravy and but listen, he backs it up and doesn't help his case. Gravy and cheese curds, yes. Mayo, blech. What? Exactly.
What was the first thing? Gravy.
Gravy and cheese
And
curds?
cheese curds?
Well, but
You
hang on.
Canadians,
Some people
man.
say
Ugh.
gravy, and it's not what we call gravy. So it might
Well,
be.
I know Italians call.
How about this?
sauce
It's not
gravy.
ketchup.
Yeah, it's if anything
but
that's
cheese
not
curds
ketchup.
are cheese curds, right?
Yeah.
Right.
No matter how you
Any-
slice it.
Do I want mayo? How dare you? Give me some cheese curd.
I will take goat's milk instead, please. Yeah, exactly. So
Give me some. Let's keep this civilized. I'd rather have lumpy cheese.
exactly.
Goodness gracious.
Either way, the point is Canadians are weird and we love you for it. So mayo
gave
or
us
no
maple
mayo,
syrup. Or you
gravy
gave us
or
maple
no
syrup.
gravy, cheese curds or no cheese curds, we still love you. It's all good.
That's right.
And then over on Discord, Vetstone. All right, I got to put in my first oops. Gabe, the folks in the Midwest call it cornhole. Must be a Pennsylvania, Mid-Atlantic, or Northeast thing to call it bags. It's definitely not a, quote, northern things. Bags is weird.
You know, it's funny. I've never thought of the Midwest as the North.
Yeah.
No?
They can't be the same thing. You can't be Midwest and North.
The northern Midwest?
Is that what he said? The Northern Midwest?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I got
What do you think of as the North?
New York and all that.
Yeah,
New
when
York,
I think
Boston.
north, I do think northeast most of the time.
That's
But
northeast,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
yeah.
Northeast.
Right.
I
yeah.
also think of like Ohio and stuff too, just because I know people from there and they refer to it as that.
But then
Yeah.
again, is Michigan considered
I mean, it's
Midwest?
I think it is considered Midwest, even though it's like almost as north as you can get.
yeah,
Exactly.
and not very west.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of the Midwest states are more Mid-East than Midwest.
Yeah,
There you
yeah,
go.
yeah.
This has been Geography 101.
I know, right?
Exactly. Yeah, I've always when I think of like, I went up north, I definitely think of like, yeah, New York, Pennsylvania, Maine,
Right.
Vermont as the North, even though that
And
would
some
be
people-
the Northeast.
Exactly. And some people would say, I went to Michigan or Minnesota or, North
Right.
Dakota or one of those. Like, that's so weird. That's a good point, though, because I've always thought the North is the Northeast. Like, I usually specify Northeast. That's New York, Boston, Maine, all those
Yes.
places.
Yeah.
But, Chi-Town, Midwest, even Grand Rapids, Midwest. But, like, where does it change? It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's kind of
Yeah.
like the whole
Yeah.
thing with the South. I always thought was weird because like people sometimes would consider Kentucky the South
Yeah.
Yeah.
when it's not
Or
that
North
South.
Carolina, which always threw my head for a loop.
Considering North's in the name.
Yeah.
Now they're just messing with you, Chris. Now they're just
I'm
messing
like,
with
oh,
you.
wait a minute.
I will accept that. Oops.
Yep.
I should have said
Oops,
Northeast.
I'll accept my mayo oops too, even though you're all crazy. Cheese curds. Come on now. That ain't Christian.
Oh, jeez.
Cheese and gravy curd.
Chris McCracken.
All right. So we're going to start with kind of one of the biggest news stories. It looks like Mr. Andrew House, which is the chief executive of Sony Interactive Entertainment,
Yes.
is stepping down from the
Yeah.
PlayStation business. He is
That's
going to be
crazy.
staying on as chairman, and he is going to be kind of staying on through the end of the year to ensure a smooth transition. He's being replaced by a man named John Codera, I think is how you say his last name, which I'm not familiar with him. He's been an executive at Sony for a while now too, as you would expect, but I don't recognize that name, so I'm not familiar with who he is or what he does.
Can you imagine they bring in somebody brand new?
Yeah, it's like we need to shake it up. Things haven't been going so well.
Exactly. We're only destroying our competition. Let's bring in somebody brand new.
That's how comfortable we are right now.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
Guy Fieri is now in charge of PlayStation.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
perfect.
Oh man, that's so good. Got some more hair gel.
This game's gonna bring you to Flavor Town.
No, he doesn't say things like that.
What?
Does he really?
He probably does.
Yeah, he does.
He says lots of stuff.
Oh man. So here's what's funny about his replacement is he's I'm guessing a Japanese guy. Cause his first name's actually like Tsuyoshi, but they just call him John.
Mm.
Oh,
John's in quotes. So I just thought it was interesting. Yes, name's like
It doesn't say that in
Tsuyoshi,
the article I had.
quote
Interesting.
unquote, John Codera.
Quote unquote, we're not gonna say that.
I was like, yeah.
I don't say it
I
either.
was like, geez Louise.
Wow.
Interesting.
I
Well,
know,
yeah,
I thought that was weird.
he did have a little bit of a statement there. He said, PlayStation has been a huge part of my life for more than 20 years, but with the business having achieved record-breaking success, now seems to be the right time for me to pursue new challenges. John and the team at SIE are world-class, and I know the future of PlayStation is very bright. And so I will say, like just from more of my own personal opinion standpoint, I am not a huge fan of Mr. Andrew House.
What?
I think he's
really?
I think he's incredibly smug and arrogant, and I don't like his business
Shots
acumen
fired.
is probably
what the
great.
freak?
Yeah, no. But he may be like he's obviously good at what he's done. He's under his tenure. There's
Is it
been a
the
lot of really
accent?
great stuff that's happened. No. It has nothing to do with the accent. It has to do with every time he gets on stage, he gets that like stern look and starts like saying all the stuff about like we don't do blah 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 and we're better than without specifically saying Microsoft's name. He just says all this stuff that's like, dude, you're talking trash about Microsoft right now. I just don't think he had good form. I just think he was arrogant. So
Interesting.
I'm not too sad to see the man go. I mean, I don't wish him ill or
Wow.
anything. I hope he does well, fine. But the less
Hide your
arrogance that we
kids.
have in the gaming space, I think the better. So
Okay.
I do not like his
I would
public
agree
like
with that.
less Andrew House, 10 times more Shuhei Yoshida. And Adam Boyes when he was there. It's like we need
Well, that's
people like
true.
that are very inclusive and happy and hey, gaming's awesome, not this like we're number one and everyone else is blah. It's like, no, we don't need that. I
You don't
like
think
that.
we need it, or we don't need
No.
it on stage?
We don't need it on stage. We don't need that to
Okay.
be the public face as somebody acting that way. In any realm of gaming, whether it's a platform holder, a developer, like it needs to I'm fine with friendly competition. That's all good. I'm
Yeah,
good
we
with
need that.
But to be arrogant, it's like you need to be humble. Stop acting this way. I was never a fan when that dude was on stage.
Wow.
I did like his video with Kojima though, because he was very like, well, yeah, we nailed Kojima. Oh, this is so awesome. That was kind of cool, but that's just because I'm a Kojima fan.
And you didn't, is what he said though.
No, he didn't say it quite that way.
I'm just joking.
Look what we got.
Yeah, Andrew House. I've never picked up on that, but also like I don't mind that a little bit, only because it feels like that's what happens when you're on top. I feel like anybody that's winning, especially after losing, is gonna be like, all right, welcome back to the fold, everyone. Thank you. Sorry for that little hiatus.
Yeah,
you had
and
to go
I don't
play on
mind
that other
like,
thing for a minute.
I don't mind a bit of patting yourself on the back kind of thing, but like if you go back and watch when he would be on stage, like at I don't think he was on ever at PSX, but like when the PS4 Pro launch and then Tokyo Game Show or Gamescom or any other ones where he would come on stage and speak, he almost always would go into something, and then when he started talking about patting himself on the back, he would get real stern and more like yeah, that's right, more like of course this is what's going to be, and he just was never humble about it. He was never like, we're so appreciative, oh my gosh, you were the greatest. He was like, we are the best, we are doing everything right, and our competition sucks, essentially. And I just don't like the way that he presented that kind of stuff. I felt it was very smug, and you don't need to be that way.
Dang, Andrew.
I'm just saying.
You better get your life right.
Yeah, what's going on, homie? You short?
So come on, John, in quotes. Don't act like that.
Short. That was good, man.
So the SNES Classic is not getting jacked up too much by the scalpers this go around.
Nice. Good.
So I think it's probably because people saw what happened with the NES Classic. They're like, I'm not doing that because that's ridiculous. I'm not getting caught up in the fever.
Yeah.
Or it didn't feel like, so because of the NES Classic, people were able to get the SNES Classic, I think, a little better. So correct me if I'm wrong. Did the NES Classic fly off the shelves that very first day? Because I feel like I saw them and then it got really hot at Christmas. Then they were all gone.
I feel like they were
gone
almost right away. Yeah, because I mean, I know there were people lining up at GameStops and wherever, and then people would be tweeting about like, oh, I was in line and I couldn't get one.
Right.
I remember seeing that. So
because
my impression was always that they were barely around.
Right. And so it seems like through our Twitter and stuff like that, a lot of people got their hands on the SNES one. So I don't know if that means more number or we were just more ready this time than last time. So last year when the NES Classic came out, they sold for $60, and then they sold on eBay. These are averages for like $240. It's 4 times the sticker price. It's $180 in profit, right?
Wow.
The SNES Classic came out for $80, and on launch day you could find it for about $165. So still double.
Yeah, still redonk.
Yeah, still redonkulous, but not 4 times as much.
Yeah.
So hopefully that means a lot more people got their hands on them from the stores, or that they're waiting and taking Reggie and them at their word that they're going to be bringing us a lot more of them, and hopefully there's another insurgence of them during the holiday season. As you guys know, I pre-ordered mine from Walmart. Still haven't gotten it.
Really?
Did you get like a ship date or an estimated arrival date or anything?
I got a ship date, which is Thursday, October 5th.
Thursday?
So that's tomorrow of day of recording. Yesterday, if you're listening to this. And so we'll see. I don't know.
Interesting.
We'll see if it gets here. The thing online still says like, and I don't know why. I think I did ship to home because I was just trying to click through so fast, and that was the thing they had on. So I was like, click, whatever. Yeah. And so hopefully I got the right thing. I'm just kidding.
He's gonna get a toaster in the mail now.
Could you imagine? The SDS Classic Toaster.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That'll be awesome. What else you got, Christopher?
A couple of other little PlayStation updates just to go through real quick. The firmware 5.0 is out now.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
There's not a ton of things
Delayed
there,
my
which,
Destiny time yesterday. Delayed it.
Did it really?
Mm.
Why do you not keep? Oh, are you? Mine downloaded in rest mode. Or do you not
So
leave yours
many
in rest mode?
questions.
I was trying to think
You know,
you were on
mine
the
was
road at
blown.
first. I was like, wait a second. Was he on the
Well,
road?
you know
No.
what's weird is that I keep mine on rest mode too. I need to get into my settings because it seems like every time I turn my console on, something needs to update. And I'm like, what you been doing all day?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm the
there's
same
some-
way.
You're
There's
in
some
rest mode just
games
sitting
that-
here.
There's some games that will, and I don't know why it is. I don't know if the developer has to enable it or whatever, but there's some games that will not download updates in rest mode. But when it comes to
Okay.
Sony stuff, and as long as
So
you've got it
was
checked in the
halfway
settings,
done
yeah, it should
when
all
I
be
turned
done.
turned it on yesterday. It was halfway done.
Okay, so it had at least started in rest mode, or you just turned it
Yes.
on before it had finished. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, because I don't know. I assume it happened somewhere in the middle of the day, which, I've got a traditional 9 to 5, so I don't notice it. When I get home, it's usually done.
I had a Destiny update the other day though, and I was like, "What you been doing?" And I had
Yeah,
to play
Destiny-
freaking Rocket League.
Destiny won't update in rest mode or hasn't yet, and then like Overwatch doesn't either typically.
Yeah, I definitely noticed Overwatch.
But
doesn't.
other
I don't
games,
like that.
there's a lot of other games that do. Yeah, like I said, I think it's got to be implemented by the developer. It's because there's been a ton of games, not just Sony ones, but third party games on my PlayStation that will update. So that when I get there, it's like, oh, we've been updated to the newest one. But games like Overwatch and a couple others, they won't do it. It's
Well,
like,
guess
that's
what?
weird.
Boo on that.
Boo to you and your kin.
Yeah, boo to all that.
Well, if you have not updated your system and you don't leave it in rest mode and you don't have your settings checked, you might want to go ahead and turn it on and boot it up. It doesn't take crazy long, I don't think. But then again, I don't know because mine did it in rest mode.
It always takes
there's a-
longer when you're excited.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
that's so true.
Like,
Another
ooh, I'm
thing
gonna get in
is-
some gaming. Oh no!
Yeah. Well, PlayStation also, they're going to be part of the Tokyo or the Paris Games Week, excuse me. The show is going to be on October 30th. And it's going to be, because it's in Paris, it's going to be a little bit later, or well, depending on where you are, the time frames are a bit all over the place. I think it starts at like 8 a.m. Pacific and it's like 11 Eastern. And then it's going to be like 2 a.m. in Australia or something crazy. But Sony is teasing that they're going to have big game announcements and updates. So we'll just have to see if that turns out to be the thing. And they're like, oh, big update. This game's coming. And it's one that we already knew about. Like, The Last of Us 2 is a thing. Like, wait a minute. We already knew that. That's not a big update.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We've already knew that. And
Look
the
how
last
old
little-
Ellie is. Well, yeah, we know.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a tat. We know. We've seen it. I have the concept art as my wallpaper. Come on now. And then the last thing is that there is a new PlayStation VR headset model coming,
Oh,
but it's really very, very, very minor. It's only the only real feature of it is the processor unit is a little bit slimmer and more streamlined. So I guess there's that. But the main thing is that it enables HDR pass through. So before, if you have an HDR television and the PlayStation and the PlayStation 4 Pro, they offer HDR gaming or movies or whatever you will. But the way that the PlayStation VR works is that the HDMI comes out of the PS4 into the processor unit and then it all funnels through there and then goes through to your TV. Well, if you were wanting to do HDR content, you would have to unplug it from the PSVR unit and then plug it straight into your TV because the HDR content couldn't pass through that little processor unit. So now it's going to be able to pass through, so you don't have to disconnect it if you're just playing the normal way. You can still leave the headset all connected and it'll pass through there and won't interrupt your signal. So just little minor things like that, and I don't think there's going to be any kind of price difference. They did say specifically on there that the new processor unit model is only compatible with the new version of the headset, so you can't swap them. But honestly, I don't know why you would do that anyways, why you would buy a new processing unit and not the new headset. And I don't think you can even buy them separately, or I've never seen it advertised. So it's a little weird that they said that, but I guess I just don't want people to get confused if you're buying one and then upgrading to the new one because you want the pass-through. Make sure you don't confuse them. But I think design-wise, there's no real changes. It's pretty much the exact same look and feel. And that's all the little PlayStation barrage I got for you.
there you go. Well, back in October of 1997,
Ooh.
this month, 20 years ago,
Okay.
We got a little game developer called Sucker Punch.
Oh, freaking.
Freaking Sucker Punch.
Yeah, that's where we met freaking Stancil. He was working at Sucker Punch when he first started coming around married to the games. And so when I saw this story, I was like, oh man, we got to bring that up. So I love this. I didn't know it was 5 guys that started it, and they left jobs at Microsoft. And their first game was actually for the Nintendo 64. And it was called Rocket Robot on Wheels.
Nice.
Like that. And then
I like it.
Obviously they joined up with Sony and created Sly Cooper and the Thieviest Raccoonus. So Sly Cooper, those were big games. And they said they actually in this story I was reading, they said they actually struggled with the fact that he was a thief, and that they were like, I wonder what message we're sending, like that, like thieving is good. And
Interesting.
So I guess in some of the games they changed it to like where he only stole from other thieves.
Right.
So I thought that was funny. I never played any Sly Cooper. Chris, did you play Sly Cooper?
I never did play with Sly Cooper either. And I didn't even know until maybe a couple years ago that was a Sucker Punch game. It's like, oh, look at there. Maybe I should have played that.
And so they went to, I'm going to just read this paragraph because this is really funny. This is from blog.us.playstation.com. At first, we were building, this is when they're talking about moving on from Sly Cooper into Infamous.
Okay.
At first, we were building a superhero version of Animal Crossing. You roamed your city, tracked down criminals, helped out the citizens, and did some light zoning work along the way. The best superheroes have alter egos, right? So your alter ego was a property developer, deciding where to put the pet shops and tiki bars the citizens were demanding. Sounds awesome, right? Well, it wasn't. After 6 months of experimentation, we gave up on property development and focused on superhero action. And so it's just so funny to hear, like, for those of us that have played the Infamous games, to ever think that you are a property developer trying to find out where to put pet shops and tiki bars.
I know, right?
That's so cool.
That is insane. It's one of those funny things. I've talked to Stancil a lot about it, is that the one thing that I appreciate so much about video games and is how much work goes towards from the beginning of it to when you get it. And so just to know that was even an idea, and they were like, we should kind of do a superhero thing. And they're like, yes. And what if, wait, it's coming to me. What if you also were a property developer and tried to find out places to put your pet shop?
Right.
Jeez.
Like, it just doesn't feel like it goes together. And so we talk about it a lot because obviously he's in the arts, I'm in the arts, and music can be a lot of the same way, where you, from the conception of an idea for a song to the song that you actually hear, can be very different. But what's crazy about gaming is that there seems to be hundreds and hundreds of people that it touches. And and along the way, they don't have anything to do with the creative side of it or the story or what it's going to look like. A lot of the guys are just like, make this, do this. And you're like, okay. Where in music, it's very different, where the producer and even the players that he gets, even though he can be like, play it like this, can still have their own thing. I've heard people be like, oh my gosh, is that such and such bass player? Because it sounds like him. You know what I mean? And so it's just, it's really interesting to see how it can, and like the ideas that people have of being able to circle all the way around are incredible. Like the fact that you can start there, because if you've, and this is, I can only compare it to music, but if you've ever written a chorus for a song, that's the heartbeat of the song. It's the part that everybody's going to know, everybody's going to sing. And then somebody says, rewrite the chorus. You're like, oh shoot, rewriting the chorus is tough. And so to take the whole idea that you had and throw that out and be like, okay, so to the same music, I'm going to write different words that are just as catchy as the ones I had before, but on a totally different subject. It just gets really hard. And so thinking of Infamous being a superhero version of Animal Crossing, and then to what it ended up being, where you're like this, you know what I'm saying? You're this guy floating around and shooting people with lightning. I just think it's really dope. So happy birthday to Sucker Punch.
Right?
You can't drink
That's
yet,
great.
but you're almost there.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
In the States, you can't drink.
Right.
Everywhere
You're
else,
good in Europe.
everywhere else, you've been drinking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
20 years, Sucker Punch. That's dope.
That's really cool.
Yay, Sucker Punch.
Chris McCracken?
So there's been some debate for a number of years now about whether or not old Mr. Mario is punching Yoshi in the head or not in Super Mario Brothers 3.
I did not know this was a thing.
Well,
didn't
yeah,
either.
and there's been other websites that have like written whole articles debating and debunking and be like, oh, well, obviously no, he's not punching him in the head. And there was official art that came out around the game time that kind of shows Mario on top of Yoshi, and Yoshi's tongue is going and grabbing something, and Mario's pointing his finger. And so they're like, see, this is proof that Mario is actually just pointing, and Yoshi's going to get the thing that he's pointing at. Well, there were two developers that worked on the game, and I'm going to try to say these names.
Wait,
Yeah.
before you say the answer of
Yeah.
what they said it was,
Uh-huh.
did you think, what did you think he was doing?
Honestly, when I was younger and I played it, I never paid close enough attention to really realize that what he was doing. I just knew Yoshi was going and grabbing the apple or whatever it was I was going for. I never looked closely enough. It wasn't even a thought in my
interesting.
head, honestly.
What about you, Ed? Did you play that?
Yeah, I just always thought that Yoshi was. I didn't realize, like Chris, that Mario was doing anything. I just thought it was Yoshi sticking his
Really?
tongue out and grabbing stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
never
always
paid
thought he
attention
was
to it.
hitting him in the head.
You did?
Yeah, like his whole hand comes down and like it feels like it was cause and react. Like he made Yoshi do it
Well, Yoshi needs to listen.
instead of exactly.
I got to find a clip of that now because I never even knew that Mario.
So you
did
guys
anything.
thought Yoshi was doing it on it by his? You were controlling Yoshi.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, honestly, I just never thought about it one way or the other. I was just like, I hit the
Yeah,
button and
yeah.
Yoshi does the thing. I didn't put any more thought into it than that. I mean, because you're not
Gotcha.
on Yoshi. You're not on Yoshi the entire time. So I'm just more focused on the task I need to do, not how it's being done necessarily.
Yeah.
I never really paid that much attention.
All right. So what do these guys with the hard names say?
Okay, so their names are Takashi Tezuka, which that one's easy, and then easier,
Yeah.
and then Shigefumi Hino. That's how I'm going to say
Yeah.
it. Apologies if I am just destroying your name. So they're basically the two that were responsible for making Yoshi. Basically, Miyamoto was like, I want Mario to ride a horse, and so a horse didn't really fit into the way the game was done. So it eventually, through all the different concepts that they did, came
And they
down
couldn't
to
use a
being-
chicken horse.
Yeah, they couldn't use a chicken horse. So it came down to where it ended up being they designed Yoshi. And one of the quotes here says, lots of people think that while Mario is pointing his finger, he's saying go, and Yoshi's tongue comes out. However, the setup that I drew was that when Mario punches Yoshi in the head, the character's tongue shoots out in surprise. What's more is they added a boop sound. However, it seemed like people would say poor Yoshi, so that's why it became Mario saying go. So he is indeed punching Yoshi in the back of the head, and from the shock of being punched in the head, his tongue's shooting
Wow.
out, and he's grabbing whatever thing that you're trying to get him to grab.
That's what I
The
always
debate
thought.
has been put to rest. Mario is a Yoshi puncher.
I didn't even know
Wow.
that. I had no idea. Like it looks like a punch.
Yeah, oh, it looks definitely like a punch.
So it's just funny to feel like he's not punching him. He's like, I mean, looks like a punch.
That's so funny.
Well, some of the things that they were saying is if you look at, and there's GIFs all over the place so you can look it up, but if you look at the animation, Yoshi's face kind of contorts before Mario throws the punch. So they're like, no, see, obviously this is proof that he's pointing, and then Yoshi's like hearing him and then reacting. But if you just, which granted it's pixel art, but if you just look at his hands, like I don't see a finger, I just see like a punch back of the head, bam, tongue comes out.
Right. Exactly. Huh.
So
Wow.
punch confirmed.
Man.
Punch confirmed. Chris alluded to it a little bit earlier. Star Wars Battlefront early access for pre-order
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
begins today.
What? Go have fun.
That's awesome.
Wednesday, the day that we're recording, it starts today at 1 a.m. Pacific
Nice.
Standard Time, 4 a.m. Eastern Time. So it's probably already going.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And then
I'm excited.
the open beta begins on Friday.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
at 1 a.m. And then it ends on October 9th, which is Monday at 9
Very
a.m.
cool.
noon Eastern.
Oh, that's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's gonna be a busy weekend. I got a lot of games to
I
play.
might have to pause a little Destiny for a second.
I know.
Oh,
Mhm.
snap.
So the modes that will be in the beta: Galactic Assault, 20 versus 20, Destiny.
Destiny 2.
Yeah, exactly. Destiny 2, LeBron James.
R2
Starfighter,
Destiny 2.
Starfighter Assault, which would be the X-Wing versus TIE Fighters. The Strike, which is 2 8-player teams.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Destiny
Anybody want
2.
to play some 4v4?
Destiny 2.
And the Arcade. It says no campaign mode, but you can try out 2 of the Versus AI arcade missions.
Nice.
Hmm.
I'm looking
So-
forward to it.
I mean, right?
Yeah, the game. The first one was fun, and this time around they have even more stuff there, and they got an actual campaign for it. So I'm excited.
Yeah.
They released that
Me too.
trailer recently that showed a little clip from the campaign, like the cinematic stuff, and it looked
Yes.
crazy good.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I got so excited.
Yes. I will
can't wait to
definitely
play it.
probably be pausing Destiny 2 to beat the campaign and then come back to Destiny 2.
Yeah, I'm gonna work as fast as I can to get the plat, so I can be like, okay, I'll still play you, Destiny, but I'm ready to put you on the back burner for a little bit.
Yeah,
There's some
unless
stuff
I
coming
can
out.
get this raid out of the way, because here's the thing. That's the only thing. The raid and Trials of the Nine, is it Trials of the Nine?
Yes.
Are the only things I have to do left that are kind of like undone in the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I might be able to put a longer pause on Destiny, because Destiny's like Chris was saying, it's kind of like riding a bike. Like I don't necessarily need to run back to it because it's just going to be more of the same. I just have new things I haven't done yet.
Yeah.
But man, Battlefront, come on, baby, let's get
Right?
into some Battlefront.
Mm-hmm.
So I love it.
Playing as heroes in the wrong era.
Exactly right.
That's right.
Exactly right. What else you got, Christopher?
The last little thing that I have is that Neo, the game that had come to PlayStation 4 earlier this year, it is going to be releasing also on PC in November. And it's going to be a complete edition with all of the downloadable content, which it's cool because this game is basically this kind of the same vein of like a Dark Souls and whatnot. And it was locked away behind the PlayStation 4. It was exclusive to them for all this time. And so now it's kind of cool to see that it's coming out to PC as well. If I had to guess, I'm going to say it's only going to be those 2 versions. I don't think it's going to come to Xbox One, but I don't really know that for sure. But there's been a lot of other exclusives that have come out, or not a lot, but there have been other games that were console exclusive to PS4, but they also came to PC. So it's kind of cool to see it following suit, and it's going to be a complete edition. And I know there are a lot of people who are really into the Dark Souls, these kind of stuff. And there's a lot of PC players that play Dark Souls and whatnot, so they'll finally have access to this game that's in a similar vein.
That's right.
Nice.
I think it's going to be playable through Steam. I don't think it's coming to the Microsoft store. Yeah, it's going to be a Steam release.
There you go.
Yep.
I like it. I like it. I like it.
So do I. Morning show.
Yeah, exactly. Eduardo,
Yeah.
tell me something good.
Wow. Wow.
I got a little wah-wah at the end there. I like that.
That's what it does.
I love it. I love it. It's a good recreation.
Thank you. I've been practicing it.
And it shows. Over on the YouTubes, we've got new this week, the Lego Ninjago movie video game up there in its entirety, parts 1 through 14.
Anybody fall asleep?
No one fell asleep.
That's
So
right.
it was a good night. Yeah. You can't fall asleep when you're a ninja.
Well, I know that, but I didn't know if Sarah knew that.
She got the note. Yes. I
Oh,
was
okay,
happy to
good,
report.
good.
She's got to up her ninja skills.
Yes. We've also got Batman, The Enemy Within, Episode 2, The Pact. That's up there in its entirety, parts 1 through 6. Sarah did fall asleep while she was watching me play that. So probably
That's
because
awesome.
I started at 1 a.m., so I can't
Exactly.
blame her too much. And then Gabe played some Cuphead this week.
I did.
Did you know?
Nice.
Did you know?
World 1.
Dude, man, I got to give you props. You went a lot further than I would have.
Ed, hey, I'm just impressed that you stayed around for the stream. I thought you'd be so frustrated that you rage quit the stream.
I don't get frustrated if I'm not playing it. I'm just, and because I know you're so good at video games, it was actually nice to watch you get frustrated.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that game is tough.
What are you playing it on, Gabe?
On the old Windows 10
Okay.
With a remote?
Are you doing a controller?
with a DualShock 4.
Nice.
Nice.
So it's a little weird because all the prompts are different.
Yeah. Have you played it since?
No.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for another, because I know that World 2. So the way the game is broke up, I think, but from like the initial map or whatever that they give you, it's World 1, World 2, World 3, and then finale. So
Yeah.
I'm figuring it's going to get harder as it goes.
That would be a good guess.
Which is just laughable already. And so, because it wasn't like, so there was one level I really struggled on. But then I feel like, sorry guys, those that haven't played Cuphead or seen anything about it, Cuphead is almost exclusively boss battles.
Right.
So you're getting these souls back for the devil. You've worked out this thing. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about the details.
Yeah. And so it's mainly boss battles. And so I feel like, and Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, the side-scrolling stuff for me was a little tougher. And so I feel like I did the boss. Of course, I'm going to die, but I feel like I made it through the boss battles in okay times, like where I'd have to like go up against them 3 or 4 times, where that one long stretch of that, because when you die, you start back at the beginning of the period. And so when I did the platform aspect of it, that was a little tougher for your boy. That one took like 30 minutes for me to beat. I went back and when I was putting the stream up, I was like, ooh, that's 30 minutes of one level that, and then you get to the end of the level and it's like, good job, you beat it in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. I'm like, what? I took 30 something minutes to beat a 2-minute board. And so,
yeah,
I struggle with that one the most. But the bosses, I feel like you eventually, and this is what I was going to ask you guys. When we were kids, not you, Tim.
Oh, sorry.
Because you weren't playing games.
Of course.
But were we actually better at games, or we had more time to memorize games and that's why we thought we were better? Because what I'm noticing in Cuphead is that you end up memorizing what the enemy does. So it looks like you're really good at the game for a second, but really you've just died so much that you know it so well. Because when I played, when I met up with Blake Carter, he let me play Sonic real quick on the Switch, and I was terrible at that. But I used to be a beast at Sonic, and I'm like, did I just die so much that my fingers had it memorized?
I think that's probably what it is, because I was the same with Sonic. I picked it up on, I think, the Xbox. You could get it, and I was like, oh man, I thought I was good at this game.
Yeah, I think it just has more to do with, because when you go back now, you play a game now that's more in the old school vein, or if you actually go back and play one, games now are just more catered towards teaching you things and making it obvious that they're teaching you the mechanics and whatnot. Whereas before, they're just like, figure it out. And you'd have to talk to your buddies and everything and read video game magazines to find out little cheats or strategies and whatnot. And I just don't think, because that was the norm for us, we didn't focus in on how long it took. We were just like, I did the thing. That was really all that you focused in on, really.
Yeah, I heard someone say that at games like that, they train you to be a perfectionist.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you can't beat it.
That's a good point. And I would say that I think in just some of the older games that I know I've played with boss battles or anything like that, you do see the boss pattern, and so you can anticipate what they're going to do. And I think in today's modern games, the technology is there where it can be randomized, so you may not get the same thing that the boss does, and it might shift a little bit. So I think it could make it a little bit harder versus what it used to be back in the day, because you knew exactly where they were going to go.
And you definitely see that in Cuphead, where the bosses can do a couple of different things, so you have to memorize what each thing does when it comes up.
That's right.
That's incredibly difficult, yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun. I'm still having fun with
That's
it
good.
right
Good.
now.
Good deal.
I don't know
Good.
if I'll have fun with it next stream, but
Good.
this stream
I'm
was
glad.
an hour and 45 minutes long, and it's World 1. So I don't know how many bosses that is, but I think
Mhm.
it's like 7 or 5 bosses and 2 regular levels. I have no idea. Something
Yeah,
like that.
that's pretty good though.
Well, is it? I don't know.
I think so.
Well, thanks.
Looking at the top 10 YouTube videos for the week of September 25th through October 1st, combining the average watch time and views. Number 10, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, Part 34, Ending. Cheaters. Number 9, Married to the Games, Episode 263, so Cuphead, huh?
So Cuphead, huh? Or
Number 8, Hugh, Part 10, University. Number 7, Ori and the Blind Forest, Part 14, Thornfell Swamp. Oh. Did you guys play that? And what's hilarious is that in my head, I'm like, all 4 of us are going to do it. It's a morning show. I don't have to give as much.
That is
I
awesome.
love hearing you say it alone. That was amazing.
That's great.
To
that
answer
what
your
all that
question,
typing
no,
was?
I don't think that was playing, but that was amazing.
That's awesome. That was like the least energy I've ever done it too. Thornfell Swamp.
it was just like with a period on it. Oh my gosh.
That was just slightly louder is all it was.
Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord. Oh, that was great.
Shoot.
Now I'm
Doggone
going to be
it.
nervous every week.
Thornfell Swamp. Okay, all right. And all right. And I'm by myself.
And all right,
Oh.
just me on this one. Okay, cool.
That was good. That was good.
Oh man.
Number 6, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, Part 29, Basement Witch. Ooh,
Basement Witch.
Basement Witch.
Mm.
Number 5, Cuphead Stream, World 1.
Whoa!
Look at that, Gabe. Look at that. When
Hey,
it came to
when I step up on a scene, I'm getting in the top 10.
when it comes to just watch time, Gabe, Cuphead was number 1. So well
Really?
done, sir.
It's
Yes.
because it
Well
was
done.
so long. Is why.
And,
everyone wants to
everyone
see it.
stuck around for it. So yeah, good on you.
People were like, "Oh, poor guy. We should probably stick around for a minute."
People are like, Gabe never loses it. We want to see this.
Moral support. Yeah, they're just waiting for you to snap.
Did I sound extremely frustrated? I didn't want to sound as frustrated as I was.
At times you did when it was
Ah,
just an
dang it.
no. That's what
It would be
we're
funnier if you just totally like threw your controller.
Just
or something
lost
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
Just lost it.
I
all of a
pumped
This
sudden-
game in.
Yeah, I
Gabe
pumped the
goes
dog.
muted.
Yeah. She's like, "Bark!" You're like, what was that? Be like, sorry, I had to punt the dog.
Exactly. Poor Sadie.
Number 4, Gabe and Chris react to The Last of Us Part 2.
What?
Inching its way back up. Nice.
There we go.
Oh, you're up there.
Number 3, Hugh Part 11, The Ending. Number 2, Watch Dogs 2 Part 19, Paint Job. And number 1, Watch Dogs 2 Part 48, Ghost Signals.
There
And
we
that's
go.
Watch Dogs. I swear.
Thornfell Swamp.
So good.
I like that your voice even went up for it to get ready for everybody to jump in.
Yeah, you're getting, you're
Part
getting that hype
14.
train going.
Thornfeld Swamp.
Thornfeld Swamp. Period.
That's kind of like when you and your friend are at the
So
side of the
great.
pool and it's like, you're going to jump in, right? And you're not really sure if your friend's going to jump in on the count of 3 like you're going to.
Right.
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Oh, when you start singing a song in your car that you think everybody's going to sing and you're singing it by yourself.
It's funny.
Won't stop believe. Okay, so nobody else was going?
Yeah,
Okay,
no,
okay, just me.
okay.
All right,
Okay,
that's
perfect.
fine.
Just me.
Let's
Okay.
pretend that didn't happen.
Yeah, thanks, guys. I had to sing a solo in my car.
Oh,
Thank you,
good
Eduardo.
stuff.
Yes, thank you guys.
Well, every week we ask you guys a question. Last week was no different. We asked you, what game has kept you from going to bed? We all have got them. And here we go on the forum.
And let me just
All right,
pull this
then.
up.
Lord have mercy. No, what's going on
Morning
right now?
show.
Yeah, morning show. My brain's like, I don't want to.
I'm sleepy now.
Yeah, exactly. Robert Darrell Good Jr. When I was a kid, if we rented games, I might obediently go to bed, but I literally just laid there all night waiting for morning.
Yeah.
That hasn't happened in a long time. More recently, nearly every game I've ever really dug into has kept me up at some point, especially if you include the midnight releases. But if I don't have to be at work the next day, Elder Scrolls Online has definitely kept me and my wife up until dawn the next day a few times.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Nice. I like that. Spam Humbug. We haven't heard from in a minute. Sorry, I've been a stranger again. We welcomed our 4th child and
Yeah.
first son into
Congratulations.
the world back in July, and I changed jobs soon thereafter. Woo, the new role is consultancy based, which means a bit more travel. There we go. To answer the question, Marathon, a Bungie FPS from back when they were primarily a developer of Mac games, still has one of the most engaging stories I've ever encountered in a shooter.
Nice.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the time black hole that is Torchlight. That game has been responsible for far too many 3 a.m. realizations that, oh crap, I have work in the morning.
That's the worst.
Man, congrats on the kid.
Yeah,
Yes,
really.
yeah.
4th
Congratulations.
child. You guys are brave. It's not a race.
It's a marathon.
That's right. Like that Bungie game.
Destiny 2.
Over on the Facebook, Corey Ray Swope. At a very young age, I started playing the Final Fantasy games. Good man. This had me sneaking up in the middle of the night just to get a few extra hours of game time in. This could possibly explain my grades in middle school.
Nice.
That's funny. You know what's interesting? I always had a TV in my room growing up. And so
Lucky.
thinking about sneaking up in the middle of the night, like to somewhere else, I'd be so nervous to play a game like in the living room.
Yeah.
Right.
Gerald F. Schneider II, not Junior,
Nope.
the second,
The sequel.
because his dad was Gerald M. Schneider. I'm just kidding. I have no idea. Back in the day, it was somebody told me that's the difference. Back in the day, it was Tecmo Bowl. Later years, it was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2. Last year, it was Rocket League. Today, it's Fortnite.
Wow.
Ooh.
You know. Gavin Irwin. Well, guys, it used to be a game you would rent out of a video game store, play it Friday night, complete it before your parents returned it on a Sunday or a Saturday evening. But the game that has kept me up recently and I'm waiting for the groans is GTA Online.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
When he said waiting for the groans, I thought he was going to say Minecraft.
I did
me
too. I
yeah.
did too.
Is GTA Online. Not that it's playing with other people. It's because I do 24-hour charity events, and for the past 2 years, that's the game. That's the game. As you can do whatever you want.
Yep.
You know what's interesting is that GTA 5 is always in the top 10, and we know it's because of the online thing, but I never hear anyone talk about it. Like, that's, I think, the first person I've heard say that they're playing it.
Or they always talk about it, and we just don't know it because they just call it Grand Theft Auto 5 and say what they're doing, but it's really an online thing.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just guessing.
Interesting. I don't know. Yeah, it's so weird. Like, I like when it comes to just conversation, I haven't heard anyone mention the game in a while,
Mm-hmm.
but someone's playing it. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Now I know who.
A lot of someone's.
Over on Twitter, we got Jeff the Android at Remake Yourself. He said, currently, stare at it in the crib.
Yes,
oh,
sir.
that's right. Congratulations.
What?
So sweet.
Congrats, Jeff.
And that's exactly what you do when you have a baby.
Yeah.
You
just look at it right there in the crib.
Yep. You're like,
Mhm.
is it still breathing? It's still breathing. Ooh, don't touch it. I don't want it to wake up. Just,
No,
Let's stare
don't
at
wake
it.
up.
yeah. Oh, how cute. Look, it's still breathing. Ooh, I think it pooped itself.
Should I wake it up and change it? No.
Like,
I'm
no,
gonna let
I
it
think it's
sleep.
fine. Wait till it starts crying.
Yeah, but
That's
congrats,
right.
Jeff.
Jonathan C. at JohnnyBoy1901, Mass Effect 2 and Red Dead Redemption, along
Ooh,
with many
nice.
Ooh,
others.
there you go.
Yeah. Jacob Hammond, I thought this was funny, at Real Big Kong. Skyrim, I played about 80 hours in 3 days,
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
which
Wow.
there's 72 hours in 3 days. That's why it's funny. Scott Thompson at Scott_T82, Overwatch for me. I tried it on a free weekend and bought the full game on Monday. Not sure
Oh, nice.
if I even slept that weekend.
Oh, that's awesome.
That is awesome. That's a good game.
Yeah.
That's how those free weekends work. That's how they get you.
Right?
Yeah, it is. All free. Now I'm
Would
hooked.
you like a little heroin?
Oh.
Yeah.
I give it to you for free. Next thing you know, you're out buying heroin on Monday.
There
Sorry,
you
not
go.
to be joked about. Drugs are serious. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Mm.
Stay in school, kids.
Is that still a message? Like, do we still need to tell people that?
Nah, we
Don't
pretty
do-
much encourage it now.
Seriously. Anyway. Josh Sanders at Ninjosh2. I was
Way
going to
to
make a
hold back.
joke, and then I was like, I don't want to offend anybody. And so, Hyper Light Drifter.
Oh.
If you don't want to
Ooh.
sleep, play this game.
Wow.
And then Mile High Messiah at Messiah Gamer. This week it's Fortnite Battle Royale, but night is when I get time to game. Many sleepless nights with Halo and Zelda in the past. That's right. Last but
Nice.
not least, ending off over at the Discord with our Discordians and our patrons.
Mm-hmm.
Putty said Civilization 5, the turns are so quick that just one more turns into at least a dozen more.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Amen.
Been there.
Cat Jack, all of them, which I totally agree with. Nova Beyond, GTA 5 for the first year always had me like, okay, I'm going to do this one mission,
Yep. Yeah.
then I'm going to bed. And then 3 hours later, which felt like 3 minutes, I got sidetracked and never got to the mission.
Nice.
Yep.
That game is a serious time machine.
Yeah, it is.
That's funny. B-Dog1221. It's easily Rocket League and Overwatch for me. I don't get off until I win because I don't want to leave a loser. But once I finally
Aw.
win, I want to keep
Agreed.
playing to keep my streak going. LOL.
There you go.
Mm.
And then it's 4 a.m. That's funny. Thank you guys so much for answering the questions. You know where to find us. Facebook.com/married to the games. Twitter.com/MTTGcast. Of course, you can go to marriedtothegames.com. Check out the forum. Check out the website. Be like, okay. I see what they did here.
Mhm.
Like Ed was saying, youtube.com/married to the games. Now on Patreon, patreon.com/MTTG,
Mm.
which stands for Street Team.
That's right.
And Router.
Rate us on iTunes so we can all put on Christmas sweaters and sweat our cojones off in a Christmas music video, which features us punching Yoshi in the back of the head and saying, Destiny 2.
Oh my gosh.
Man.
Yeah, Router. Good
Yeah,
job.
He had the time to
Destiny
write all
2.
that when we were
Now
talking
you know
about
why
Destiny
he's so
2.
quiet for those
I know
20 minutes.
exactly. My man just did a cliff notes of the whole podcast.
Exactly. That's my goal now, man. It's awesome.
So the segment needs to just change to router. The cliff. What's the recap? real quick?
I know.
Routers recap done.
Previously,
Done.
this episode.
Exactly.
Previously, this episode.
I like that. That's good, Ed. I like that.
Well, let's get into some questions.
All right, let's get into our first email. You can email us at mailbag@marriedtothegames. We got Jason D. I'm a Las Vegas local who works for the LVMPD, the
Oh
civilian
my
side.
gosh.
A horrible event occurred last night at Mandalay Bay, and I just can't get it off my mind. Senseless murder for no reason, innocent people. It makes me sick and pissed off to no end. I hope you guys take a moment today and just give your thoughts to the victims in Las Vegas. Always be safe when you guys go out. Hug your families. Take nothing for granted. With that said, I just want to thank you. I just want to say thank you to you guys. The show you guys create promotes fun, family, and unity. It's exactly what this world needs more than ever these days. Your show is more than just video games. It's really a special thing, and I hope you guys know how much it helps me release stress through the week. With much love, Jason. Dude, I cannot thank you enough. That is exactly what we needed this week. That is, that's awesome. And as always, we definitely think of Vegas during this time. It's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's really nuts.
So stupid.
Thank you for those kind words. It was great.
Thanks.
Also, on email,
that.
Mark 2. Recently, I was explaining my biggest complaint with superhero movies and TV shows, which is that people with superpowers, both heroes and villains, are bad at using their superpowers to earn a constant competitive advantage.
Amen.
As an analogy, I reference spamming fireballs in Street Fighter and how difficult to beat someone that was good at spamming them. My question is, what do you guys think of overusing or abusing a move in a fighting game, a specific play in a sports game like Madden, or maybe a specific weapon in a first-person shooter that makes you almost unstoppable? Do you do it? Do you feel differently about doing it against a computer versus against another player? Also, thanks for the music recommendations a couple weeks ago. They were all really good.
Nice.
Hey.
That's awesome, Mark.
Nice.
Thank you.
Oh,
I think it depends on the situation, doesn't it? Like, if I'm in a first-person shooter and I have a specific weapon, like I always say it on Far Cry 4, my thunk was one of my favorite weapons. It's just because I was comfortable with it and I knew it was effective. So, of course, I'm going to use it. Not necessarily, it's not necessarily a competitive advantage, but it's just taking something that you're comfortable with and you can use effectively.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can do that, great. If you're, I don't know. I mean,
I think what he said, it's funny. What he's talking about has happened against me more than I've done it to people.
Yes.
Right.
Because it feels cheap. So I was playing Moses when we were at PAX and we were playing Capcom, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite or whatever. And he was doing this active, I don't remember what it's called in the game. It's called like active swapping or something like that, where, because you have two players.
Oh, right. Yeah, you can swap in.
Yeah. And he was constantly doing that, but with that I was getting hit and I couldn't do anything over because he had me pushed all the way against the corner. And literally I couldn't do anything. And so he did that the whole game. And so it became a thing where you're like, it was almost felt like beyond spamming. You know what I'm saying? Because it was like, he did it so he was doing it so fast that my character couldn't do anything. And of course, like, I don't know the game. I don't know how to block. I don't know how to parry or anything like that. I don't even know what, could happen in the game. And so like, I personally, for me, I don't play like that only because it's not showing who's better or not. And it's more for fighting games. Like, I don't know if, obviously there was the quick scoping thing in Call of Duty, which was like impossible to get around unless you were just running and jumping all the time and were against somebody that wasn't very good at it. But like, quick scoping was like, it was the death of multiplayer online for me when it came to Call of Duty. Yeah, I don't do it just because it feels cheap, and then I don't know if I'm actually better than someone or not.
Yeah, isn't that a gauge as to how good you are? If you're cheating like that, like,
well, because not necessarily cheating, it's just taking advantage of a situation.
Right. But strip it down. If one person has the same gun as you, then you figure it out. Then you'll be able to know who's more skillful and who can dodge and I'm thinking in an FPS scenario. But yeah, I'm with you. I feel you.
Yeah, Chris.
I have no problems doing that kinds of stuff in PvE things where it's like against the computer or the campaign. If I find a weapon that's a bit cheap or a tactic that seems to work and the AI doesn't know how to react to it and I just beat them every time. If the goal is to like finish the story or the campaign or whatever, and it's not like legitimately breaking the game, like I'm going into a wall or something crazy, then it doesn't really bother me. But I used to really get irritated, like Gabe was saying. Like, I remember in Modern Warfare 2, I didn't have a blog or anything back then, which I don't have one now either. But if I had a blog back then, I'd have written so many pages on the noob tube and how ridiculous it is and it shouldn't be in the game. And I could not stand, like, I would not use a grenade launcher. It's an attachment you put on your assault rifle. I would not use it simply because I railed against it so much. It's like if anybody used one, I was out. And then it got to where everybody was using it, and there's so many ways to spam it, and it irritated me so much. And sometimes there would be other things in different Call of Duties or shooter games where there'd be a certain weapon, and that would be the one that all the noobs would use, or people who don't really know what they're doing would use those guns, and I would get so irritated. But over time, I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, I have less time to play games now, and I just want to play games the way I play them, and I still won't do something if I know it's cheap, I won't do it. But I don't really worry myself about like, oh, I'm not going to use this weapon because it's easier to use than the other ones. I have to live up to some skill set, or I don't worry about that quite as much anymore.
Right.
Well, I think that's respectful though too, because I mean you could totally cheat on a PvE situation because it doesn't affect somebody else in their gameplay. Yeah. You're just playing against the AI. But yeah, when you're up against another person, that's you're gonna really frustrate. It can be very frustrating. So I think that's really a great way to go. And that is definitely, I'm sure, not the norm.
Ed, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played a ton of fighting games. Usually it's just kind of button mashing. And if one of us accidentally finds a super move, it's basically then both of us trying to do that same super move to each other for the rest of the game.
Right.
And then when it comes to like multiplayer, really my only experience is Overwatch. And I feel that if it's a good game, you should be able to there should be no one who's so over OP that you can't fight it. And, you know, there are certain situations where, like, if it's a last man standing and it comes down to a Winston versus a Mercy, you kind of think you know who's going to win, but it's not impossible for a Mercy to beat a Winston. So, if it's a good game, they kind of keep their eye on trying to keep that balanced. So.
Yeah, and there's a bit of you can't just look at the way that it's done. Like, for instance, Gabe had brought up quick scoping in Call of Duty, and I was the same way. Again, in Modern Warfare 2, which is where I really got into the multiplayer part, people would do that a lot, and I would be like, oh my gosh, this is so weak, and this is so overpowered. I can't believe they're doing this, and this takes no skill, blah blah blah. And then you're like, I'm gonna do it. I could not do that at all. I was like, oh my gosh, this is like hard. Crazy skill to be able to do this. So then I kind of started changing the way I looked at things, and just like if someone used a gun and I started feeling like that gun was cheap, well, I would start using and see, do I have as much success as others? And if I don't, then I'd be like, well, it could be that person's just really honing in and learning that weapon. But if I could get something and without really trying produce the same results, then I would start thinking, okay, well, this gun or this tactic or whatever does need to be addressed because it's obviously not balanced in some way. So.
Yeah. Good question.
Nice. Yeah. Great question. D High, what is your preferred pizza spot? My wife and I often clash on where to order from. I prefer Papa John's while she prefers Domino's.
All right, D High, I want you to listen to me because you're in the area. I'm going to enlighten you, my friends. If you have not had it, you need to go to I Fratelli Pizza. Best pizza in the Metroplex, period. I love it so much. And I think they actually originated in Austin. So if you ever go down to Austin, they have them there as well. And there's probably a few other areas, but I know they're in Austin and Dallas, and they're branching out. They're not so much in the areas where we were, but there are more on the eastern side, like on the Dallas side. And oh my gosh, that pizza! I want some right now. I love that pizza so much.
Nice.
Oh gosh.
Favorite pizza place. We have a place real close to us called Mellow Mushroom. And I know it's a...
Oh, yeah.
That's not my favorite pizza. That's a lazy one, too.
Oh,
I don't know where my favorite... Like, we don't have... I love pizza. You have to understand.
Yeah.
And so, like, sauce and cheese and bread and pepperoni is my favorite pizza. You know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
good. Yeah.
I don't know. I do love Papa John's, but, like, is it really better than that deep dish over at Little Caesars? Like, probably not, man. That junk is really good. I don't know. I love pizza. I'm gonna say Gina's Pizza. It's a little locally owned place down the way from our house called Gina's, and it's really really good. More New York style, right? Tim?
Yeah, definitely.
I would say Gina's Pizza.
Oh, I like that. That's good.
Tim, what about you?
There's another place. We've been doing like the kind of they make them there for you right on the spot. Pieology and Pie 5 are two of these places.
Yep.
Oh, we have
And
Pie
it's
5
kinda
out
nice
here too. Yeah, that's
you
good.
can make your own, and I kind of like having that option because depending on what I'm in the mood for, I can just put whatever on there, and it's usually like chicken and sausage and black olives and like a few other things. I love being able to make those kinds, so we do that. But if it's like a dial-in quick fix, like we've been loving Jet's Pizza recently.
Yeah, Jets is good.
Jets Pizza.
Jet's is really good.
Ed?
There was a place in Nashville that I liked a lot. I don't think it's there anymore, called Bosco's. Is that there anymore?
No,
it's gone.
it is no longer there. Yeah, their pizzas. Which one did you have? The Diablo, the spicy one.
That sounds familiar. Yeah, I think that's the one.
It had peppers. It had like the jalapenos on it.
Mhm.
Oh, that used to be my favorite pizza. See,
Yeah.
man, we are definitely brothers. It's crazy. We eat the same pizzas from pizza places that are no more.
I know, right? And then recently, when we were in Louisville, our friend John took us to a place called, I'm gonna get it wrong, Pellizzeri's or something like that, and it was a really good deep dish pizza. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
I love pizza.
Pizza good.
Pizza good.
Pizza
All
very
right,
good.
moving on to Twitter. Scott Thompson, what's your favorite restaurant or chain, and what your go-to meal is there? I was like, huh?
Yep.
What food
Reading's hard.
and your go eat now?
Reading time. What's your favorite restaurant or chain, and what your go-to meal there? That's exactly how it's written. And what your go-to meal there?
He hates prepositions.
That's okay. It's all good, Scott. I figure we stay on the food kick. Why not?
Yeah.
I'm so hungry now.
I know, right?
J. Alexander's is my favorite
man.
here in
Jeez.
town.
Mhm.
And unfortunately, it's the burger because it's delicious.
Yeah, that burger's good.
Yes, it is.
I think I'm going to say Jay's too. And I usually, I love their fries there because it's those shoestring fries.
Yes.
Oh, right.
So good. Oh,
So good.
Because Piper will usually get like a kid's meal, which would be like a grilled chicken with fries, and I'm always eating her fries.
Yes.
It's so
That
good.
junk is delicious.
Like, Daddy, get your own.
Ah.
Always getting yelled at.
Oh.
Chris?
I think my favorite chain is this burrito place called Freebirds, and I think they
Freebirds!
they started, I think, in California, and then they went to Austin, and then they've moved out through Texas. I'm not sure what all states they're in. I know they're not nationwide necessarily, but they're really, really good. I love their stuff.
I like that.
I have T-shirts and whatnot. I don't have any T-shirts from any
really?
other restaurant. Yeah.
Look at you.
Man.
Eduardo?
I'm going to sound like a broken record and say the double meal at In-N-Out.
Hey,
Nice.
there you go. I'm not mad at that.
Nice. Good question. Now we're all hungry. Thanks, Scott.
I know, right?
Moving on to Discord. Nova Beyond. Do you iron? Why or why not?
Not anymore.
Iron?
Because kids.
Yes.
Ain't nobody got time for that, Doc.
Just throw it on them.
I used to iron though. I used to like iron all the like even t-shirts. Like if I was leaving the house, I was ironing all my clothes. But those days are over.
Yeah.
Chris?
No, I don't iron.
He's like,
I think I
no.
have like once or twice in my life, but I've just, it's like get a wet rag, throw it in the dryer. It'll get rid of the wrinkles any minute. You know, just fine.
There you go.
Good enough.
Right.
Not really, but I see what you're saying.
Yeah, good enough.
Ed?
It's been a while.
Been a
if
while. Sorry.
Been a while. If I wear a shirt that needs ironed, but I basically just wear t-shirts, and so it's been.
Yeah, virtual high five.
I know, right? I can't remember the last time we did.
I mean, yeah, I'm with you, Ed. Like I definitely only iron when needed nowadays. Like if I have to go to something and I've got one shirt and it's all crumpled up, I'll be like, fine.
Yeah, right.
Right.
But yeah.
I do all the ironing in the family
You do?
most of the time. Yep, I love it. I
That's
think
not
it-
surprising
How
to
often
me.
do you iron?
It just depends. Like if if we're running out and Lauren's just like, hey, can you just iron this for me real quick? And she'll usually do Piper's outfit. Lauren like picks most of Piper's outfits for school and that kind of stuff, either the night before or in the morning. And if it needs to be ironed, I'll go ahead and do that too. But yeah, I like it. It's fun.
Interesting. Is right.
Good question. Voiced by Nathan, do you ever think that you should be doing something more productive instead of gaming? That has nagged at the back of my mind recently. Thoughts?
Nah, Doc.
Nah.
Yeah, me neither. I guess I know.
There's always that, man. I really should be doing something else. But you know what? You need some time. This is like this is your quiet time. You go game.
You can do that with everything.
You can do that with you could justify anything and everything, and you can make time for anything and everything. And if this is what you enjoy, then do it. That's why I get up at 5 a.m, because I enjoy gaming and I want at least 1 hour to do so. And it's killing me that I can't right now.
I know. Sorry. Chris?
Yeah, I don't ever think that way, really.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, because I don't. Yeah. No.
No, go ahead. Finish your thought, Chris.
I was just gonna say, if there's something I really need to do, I will just handle it first. And so when I'm doing my gaming, I never feel like. Now there might be times where I'm gaming and I remember, I was supposed to do X, and I may have to stop and go do that thing because I forgot. But there's never like I should be doing something more productive. I'm thinking about like, man, I got to take this boss down. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Let me ask you this, though. When you say stop and go do what you were supposed to do,
Yeah.
let's say you got to take the trash out.
Yeah, I'm not talking about like that. No, I mean like, Stacy landed at the airport. I'm supposed to pick her up. You know, that's the kind of thing where it's like, it's that time.
That's a problem.
You know, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that kind of stuff.
I was just making sure. I was just trying to see where I'm at with my own
That's
situation.
good.
Oh, right.
Like Stacy will text me, she'll be like, I'm at A23 or whatever, and I'll be like, there's traffic.
There's a lot of traffic.
That's awesome.
I swear, Stacy, that's only happened once ever.
Yeah, there's some
That
traffic
is
on Nessus.
hilarious.
I'm trying to get over to IO before heading back to the.
Dazzling Toe.
What about you, Ed?
Yeah, kind of the same thing as Chris. There's not really anything that we work during the day and then game whenever we game, and if it's a thing about the trash, I'm fortunate enough that Sarah is so chill that it's like, well, I mean, the trash man will come next week too. So
That's because you ain't got no kids.
right,
We fill this
Seriously.
trash right on up, Bishop. Right
and
on up.
that's exactly what it is, because we could go 2 weeks and not have to take the trash out because we don't fill it up.
Yeah,
You don't have enough,
it's
right?
Yeah.
It's the same. Like Stacy, when we were at our old house, she'd be there. We take the trash out every week. Like I feel like we have that thing pretty close to filled. But then she'd go on a 3-week stint, and I wouldn't take the trash once because it's like, what am I
awesome.
throwing away?
Exactly.
I ain't got
Right,
nothing.
right.
Tissue takes me like
Yeah.
5 boxes
That's
before
so
that thing's full.
Funny.
That's awesome.
That's great. Did we get everybody? Yeah, we
Yeah, I
got
think
everybody,
so.
right?
Yep.
Dexter Morgan, Dexter Morgan, who is your favorite Overwatch hero? Longtime listener, first time asking.
Dexter Morgan?
Hey.
Wow,
Man, that's a
awesome.
hard question.
Favorite over? I'll
May.
go first because I don't. Okay, go ahead.
It's gotta be May.
Well played.
Thank you.
Okay,
Very
everyone
well
has to twist their answer into a song.
Oh, no.
Sorry
Oh,
about
man.
it. Sorry, not sorry.
Okay, I'll go with Junk Rat Hero.
What song is that?
Jukebox Hero.
Oh, I don't know that
Jukebox
song.
Hero.
That's all I know about that song.
Soldier 76.
Come on.
Soldier, soldier, soldier. Nice. That's great.
I don't have a
Chris?
song. Come on now.
Come
Yeah,
on,
you do.
No, I
Chris.
don't.
Come on.
I don't know how to work McCree into a song.
Oh, come on.
I don't.
Come
My
on,
brain's not
Christopher.
working that way this morning. I'm trying. I've got Spotify open. I'm browsing through songs.
Spotify? That's not going to help you.
It helped me
isn't a
find a song
research
that maybe I
project.
can weave it into.
Okay, go ahead then.
I got nothing, man. I got nothing.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
See, exactly.
I try. If I had something, believe me, I'd do it. But I ain't got nothing.
Oh, that's awesome.
How about Hey Mickery? Hey, Mickery.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey, Mickery, you're
Nailed
so
it.
fine. You're so fine. You blow my mind. Hey, Mickery.
Hey,
Mickery.
Mickery.
Hey,
I
Mickery.
love it. Well done, Ed.
There you go. I'm glad you guys filled in for me. Pinch hitters.
Do you McCrimba? The 21st time, December.
No.
Korea, the world.
Jeez.
Oh my god.
McCree to the jungle. We got fun and games.
I'm glad y'all are on point because I was not.
Dude, we just shelled out like 5-6 for you. And you got nothing? Come
I
on.
got nothing.
McCree, y'all. You know my 7 and I'm a player. I'm McCree, boom, boom,
Keep
down.
them down.
Oh my gosh. All day.
I choose one of
all
those.
day.
I choose
day,
one
every
of
day.
those.
Oh, that is so
I
funny.
choose one of those.
I choose you.
I knew you were going to do it. I knew
Of
it.
course. Oh,
Oh my god.
that was good. That was good. My stomach hurts. That was funny. All right,
job.
Kabaski, this is a good one. Do you remember the very first video you watched on YouTube, and what was it?
Oh, wow.
Not
No.
on YouTube.
Yeah, I don't
I know.
remember.
I don't either. I just remember somebody's like, "Hey, you should check out this YouTube. It's pretty cool. It's got all these different videos you
I
can
want to
watch."
say I used to watch, gosh, E-Bombs World.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
eBombsWorld.com is
Okay.
like, that was the first place I went for videos. I don't know if I can remember the first video there though, but yeah,
No.
E-Bombs World.
It was probably a fail of some sort.
Yeah, it had to have been, right?
Or-
Exactly.
I remember
Probably a cat of some sort.
A cat.
Mhm.
There was that old school one of the guy in his office who smashes his computer with the keyboard.
Yes.
I remember it was one of the first ones
Uh-huh.
that I watched.
I remember that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Chris?
I don't remember the first YouTube one. I know that I did download or would watch like video game stuff, like trailers and whatnot, but I don't remember.
Oh, nice.
That's some of my earliest memories, anyways. Because you'd have to download
Yeah.
it and you'd like go to bed and come up and it'd be done like when you wake up the next morning. All right, now I'm going to watch this
Exactly.
trailer for whatever.
Right.
Tim?
Yeah, I don't remember either. But I do remember the idea of YouTube. I'm like, oh, that's really great. And then I went back to it, but I can't remember the first video I ever watched. I really don't.
Yeah.
It was probably some skit or something that somebody did, some YouTuber did.
Yeah, it's got to be some like, it had to have been a SNL skit or something like that,
Yeah.
Right.
I thought was really funny and had made its way onto the internet.
Yep, exactly.
I don't really remember.
That's a great question, though. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Cat Jack, do events like the one in Las Vegas a few days ago have an impact on your choice of games you play? I.e., do you stay away from war and FPS games after a mass shooting or attack, or is it business as usual when it comes to gaming, regardless of world events or U.S. events?
I try to distance myself from crazy and what I do in my life. Because what happened in Vegas is crazy. That's a crazy person
Right.
doing something insanely evil. And
Right.
so
Right.
that doesn't come into my household.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. Chris?
I can't. I don't think I've ever necessarily changed a game that I play or a type of game I play because of some event that's happened in the world. But kind of in the same way, like there's just games that I know are not for me, so I just don't play them. Like I know GTA is really not for me, so I just don't play it.
Yeah.
I mean, I have in the past, but maybe in the future I might give it another go if they come out with a GTA 7 or 6 or 7 or whatever, and if they've changed the formula. But I don't. That's not necessarily the entertainment I'm looking for. But I mean, a shooter. I play a lot of shooter games, like that are maybe War Simulator or like Destiny's a shooter fighting aliens and stuff. And I don't really
Sure.
feel bad about shooting aliens that are trying to take over the world. I mean, I don't equate them in my head, so I'm fine. I usually am okay still playing those.
Yeah.
Ed?
Yeah, kind of like you, Gabe. When it comes to gaming, something that crazy and that unthinkable, I don't even really think about.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It's-
Yeah. Mhm.
So when I'm choosing a game to play or whatever, I don't. There's no correlation to me from the
Yep.
game and that
Yeah.
real life event. It just doesn't occur to me.
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the same with me, and I have an advantage too because I game very early. So Piper's not around to see any of the games that I play. A lot of people aren't around to see any of the games I play at 5 o'clock in the morning. But I just have that advantage. I know who I am, and I know what I know the person that I am, and there are some games that I just won't play just because I don't want to, or it just doesn't excite me. But it doesn't really sway me either way. Like I will continue to play the games that I'm going to play regardless of what's going on in the world. Because to be honest, this is a nice escape. Like this is why video game. It's a great interactive escape for me, and I enjoy that and I appreciate it. And, so regardless of what's going on, I will still play the games that I know I want to play.
And most games that I will play, like I'm usually in some form or fashion playing a hero that is righting wrongs. So kind of like you were saying, I never think of it in like, oh, this is very similar to XYZ situation because I'm usually the good guy, at least in my own head, if not portrayed specifically that way in the game. So,
yeah, that's a good point.
Yep. Very good point.
Yep. Final question. Here we go. The Real Sports. What is the largest amount of money you have spent on something gaming related, and what was it?
Like single item?
Oh,
Maybe?
Just the largest amount of money you've spent on something gaming.
it's got to be. I mean, it's got to be.
Probably the PS4 for me.
Yeah, I was gonna say the PS4 because I bought the PS3 late. I guess I could say, well, it's not a single purchase, but I mean, putting together my PC. So, I mean, and obviously, I use it for a lot more than gaming, but I use it for the podcast. I use it for my voiceover stuff. I use it for gaming, and I've for video editing and stuff. So, I mean, $1,000 on the computer, or or the PS4 or something like that. I like it, Chris.
Yeah, I have to be the same. As far as like a single purchase, it's only been the actual console itself, I guess. I mean, the second might be my headset that I use. I think I paid when I bought it brand new, it was like $300, but my consoles were still more than that. So,
Exactly. Tim?
What's funny is that I've never really had to spend a whole lot of money on gaming because all my consoles were Christmas presents for my wife most of the time.
Oh, that's
birthday
right.
Presents. And, I ask for Best Buy gift cards all the time or Amazon cards that I haven't really had to spend money on purchasing games. So the biggest item that I've bought has been an actual TV. When I got my TV for upstairs in the old house, that's what I was using it for. So it was about $400 that I bought a nice TV, and that was going to be my gaming TV. And I get to do it again, too.
yeah, you know what? That
Nice.
I might could change my answer to that because I did buy at the old house. I bought a TV specifically for the office, which 90% of the time is used only for gaming, and it was about $500. So maybe that. I didn't even think about that.
There you go. Ed, did you say one?
Yeah, PS4.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a wrap. Thank you, everybody, for all the questions.
That's
Nice.
it.
Whoop,
Thank you. What the question of the week for you guys is what game have you Huh?
You're like,
What?
what?
What? That's the question. So use hashtag answer MTTG.
Oh my gosh. Let that be the question. What?
Yep.
What?
I was thinking the answer that we would get.
That's
I
it.
love that. That's it.
Hashtag answer MTTG.
Nice.
And we will read them next week.
Oh,
Yes.
That's amazing.
Perfect.
Oh, I cannot wait
that's
for the
it.
tweet. Question of the week is what?
Wait, Chris, what's your answer?
Yep, we have to go around. Chris.
My answer is yeah.
All right. Tim.
What did you say when I told you that I love you? Whatever.
Ed.
Or what would you say? Whatever it is. I don't know.
You heard me.
Yay. That's boss right there. That's gangster.
Oh,
That's too much
nice.
Mafia 3 right there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. I'd say you heard me. Don't make me have to hit the other side of your head to get that tongue to come out.
There you go. Mine should have been Destiny 2.
And Destiny too.
Oh man, these answers are gonna be glorious.
This is going to be classic.
How many are we going to get of people saying, you guys didn't write the whole question out?
Yeah.
I know.
Hashtag answer MTTG. Hashtag answer MTTG. Oops.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to get oopsed on this one.
Hashtag listen before you complain.
I hope next week is a night show.
It might need to be.
That's fine.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
Let us
Good
know.
call.
Use hashtag answer MTTG.
This is gonna be great.
We appreciate you guys listening. Episode 264 in the books. And we will see you guys next week. I want to get in the time machine.
I know. I can't wait.
I want to be there right now. I hope it lives up to the hype.
Great.
I
Yeah.
hope so too.
I know it's gonna be the best or the worst ever.
Please the best. Please the best.
Exactly. I'm Gabe Patillo. That is Tim Router. That is Ed Placencia. That is Chris McCracken. And we are married to the games, and we are up out this thing. Peace!